I made the Runaway Toilet video. Let's go ahead and watch it really quick first. So there's a few elements that I want to talk about. There's a lot of animation elements in it. There is a lot of drawing that's in it. There's perspective and a few other things that I want to talk about. So let's first talk about this scene right here where the toilet is getting free. So I have a number of toilet videos. So this is no exception. So I just stole a toilet from one of my previous videos. I created a very simple bathroom scene, creating the tiles with a 1 point perspective, meaning I followed a point here and made the tiles so that they looked like they were proportional to the bathroom. And then I just added a toilet holder here. And this is all just in the background. So if I pull out, you can see that these two elements are just in the same layer, and then I just have this square. And then I put the toilet layer on another layer. So then I have the toilet rocking back and forth. I'm going to mute this just so that I can talk over it. So the animation that I did here is, let me step through it. I'm going to use the period button to just step through it. So I had it wiggle one way, wiggle another way, wiggle back and forth. Just showing that it's trying to get free. One of the things I've been struggling with recently is timing. So I really wanted this to take some time and have it be a real struggle. Then I did a squash and stretch. So I squashed the toilet by pushing it down and making it wider. And then I did the opposite, making it skinny and tall. And then I had it come down to its regular size. And actually, if I really wanted to do squash and stretch really well, I would have squatted this back down again and made it a little bit wider and then made it back up. And then I had it jumping. And again, I probably could have done a lot more squashing and stretching during that. So then I changed the proportions. One of the things is because the toilet left on the left side, I wanted it to enter on the left side. I didn't want to confuse the audience. That's a pretty standard thing in television, movies, animation, is if something leaves on the left side, you want it to enter on the left side. There's very few exceptions to that. And you can visualize this as drawing a line. So there is a line, and on one side of that line is where all the action is going on, and then on the other side is where all the audience is. So then I had the toilet jumping across, and again, I could have done a lot more squashing and stretching in there. And so this is the exception of that rule. So I had the toilet going that way. One thing that would be confusing is if I turn the toilet and had it go the other direction. So in this next scene, I'm keeping the toilet on that side of the screen, and we are going into, and let me show you really quick how I did this. So instead of just drawing a brand new drawing, I had the toilet go from here, and I did just a quick keyframe that just moved it here. So there's no in-betweens because there's no frames in between. So if I had frames in between, you would see the toilet moving. But I just moved it to the other side using these two frames, using the animation here. So it was here, and then I moved it here. And then I had it again coming out and bouncing on the step, and then out across the neighborhood. Again, since it's still moving from left to right. So you can imagine that these three scenes, the scene in the living room, the scene in the front yard, and then the scene across the living room or the neighborhood, and then again you'll see this in the woods. It's all going from left to right, left to right, left to right. I'm never going right to left. except for in that initial scene. So then again, we're going from this, and all I did was using the advanced translate animation tool to move it over to this side. And I did it before I even changed the background scene. So the background, again, I just drew one tree. You can see way over here, and I just popped a bunch in there. I could have probably put a ton more in there. So again, the toilet's just jumping. And then again, translates back over. Background changes. And more or less the same scene, but with water. So this part is where I actually changed the toilet. So I have 3 toilet drawings. I have it face on, which is when it's in the bathroom. Then I turned it sideways, and that's a majority of the animation. Then I had it have a big jump, and there's my squash and stretch again. And then this is where I changed it. So I took that drawing, I moved it down a little bit, and so this is all just taking this. Let me just show you. So I just took this drawing, copied it, went to the next, pasted it, moved it down, not with the animation tool, but with this, and then used the eraser tool up here to remove this, and then remove this piece. That's all I did. I'm gonna bring this back to its original. And then I did that in a handful of frames until it was about like this. And then I did a cycle. So I did 3 frames for up, 3 frames for down, or it looks like 4 frames. So 3, 4, 3, 4 of the toilet bobbing. And to do a cycle, you select, so you create this piece here, which is it up, this piece here where it's down, you create this, and you can create a cycle, and it looks like I did it maybe 4 or 5 times. And then in doing that, you can then animate it. So I had it start here. So when I first did the cycle, it all just bobbed right here. But then I added this keyframe over here using the transform tool and dragged it down. So it was up here. And then I added this keyframe that brought it down there. So let's watch this one more time. And this time I'm going to put the masking on. Some of my favorite tools here is when you draw, you can see the light table so you know what layer you're working on. And then the other one that I like is the camera mask. And so when I am testing my animations, I like to have that on. I'm going to start at the first frame. I'm going to turn the music back on because I'm not going to be talking. And let's go ahead. And that's it. Thank you for watching.